All right, thank you so much for coming back, everyone. So, welcome to our IELTS preparation series in Student Asia. I'm Tukia Walia, and I'm going to lead you to talk and discuss about IELTS speaking part 3. So, let's get started. All right, so we come so far to the last stage of IELTS speaking. So, we call it IELTS speaking part 3. And mind you that this is the last stage of all the IELTS assessment. Jadi kita punya part 1, part 2, dan yang terakhir itu part yang ketiga. Sebenarnya sistem pertanyaan di part ketiga itu mirip-mirip dengan part yang pertama, yaitu sistem question and answer, where the interviewer will ask you question and you need to answer it immediately. So it's different from the part two, where you are given 1 minute to prepare the question and you answer it for 2 minutes, like 1 and 2 minutes. Jadi speaking part 3 ini berbeda dari speaking yang part kedua. Kalau part kedua itu kita diberikan 1 menit untuk prepare dan 2 menit untuk menjawab. Kalau di part ketiga itu sama dengan part 1. Jadi modelnya kita diberi pertanyaan dan kita harus menjawab pertanyaan itu secara langsung tanpa diberikan waktu lebih untuk prepare seperti yang ada di part yang kedua. Okay, and the things that we're gonna talk about in this video, there are three different main points. The first one is understanding about the format in art speaking for three. Then we're gonna talk about how to understand like what is the characteristic within the question in this part. Then understanding about how to develop our answer to make it more complex and of course answering the questions basically. Okay. Now, again, talking about the speaking part 3, like what is it? So, just like I told you before, it's just like in part 1, it's a question and answer style. However, what makes it different with part 1 is that the question. So, the question in part 1 is like a more common question. Part 3 is actually, the topic is like a continuity from the part 2. Okay, so for example, like in part 2, you're talking about the restaurant like this one. Okay, describe a restaurant that you enjoy going to. Okay, this is the part 2. Then you have the main question and you have the sub question here. Right. Then what possibly the question in part 3 basically. So possibly that you will have these type of question. Still talking about the restaurant, but it's more like kind of about the discussion. And somehow it's kind of more abstract question. Kenapa abstrak? Karena pertanyaan-pertanyaan itu kadang memiliki karakteristik ketika membandingkan sesuatu, memberikan ini, menjelaskan penyebab suatu fenomena, atau membahas dampak gitu ya. Let's say that for the first question, why do you think that people go to restaurants when they want to celebrate something? Like yeah, they're asking you about the reason why people go to the restaurant when they want to celebrate, right? Jadi ini kayak minta kita untuk ngasih opini kita tentang itu. Which are more popular? Mana sih yang lebih populer? Atau yang kita diminta untuk membandingkan sesuatu, right? Some people say that food in an expensive restaurant is always better, right? Than food in cheap restaurant. Would you agree? It's just the same with the opinion, right? Okay. And somehow you're gonna have like the question about penyebab ya suatu fenomena. Okay, lebih ke ini ya. Okay, why itu lebih ke fenomena, like yeah, that's one. And some people say food inexpensive ini lebih ke opini, right? Membahas dampak atau perubahan di masa depan. Yeah, for example, like do you think that people will still go to the restaurant in the future when they want to celebrate something? Maybe, we never know. Tapi yang jelas tipe soalnya ini akan lebih ke arah diskusi dan lebih abstrak. Dan di part ini, the discussion lasts between 4 and 5 minutes. Akan berlangsung selama 4 sampai 5 menit. Alright, that's about art speaking part 3. Okay. So, what's the structure that we can use in our speaking? So we always talk about what kind of things that we need to do in each part, from the first part, second part, and we're going to the third part. It's kind of similar with the first parts that you need to make sure that you have three point in one structure. First of all, about opinion, explanation about the reason, and the example. Jadi, ketika teman-teman menjawab pertanyaan tersebut, bisa pakai struktur yang ini ya. Jadi apa sih jawaban utama atau opininya? Misalnya ditanya opini, berarti kita kasih dulu opininya. Terus explanation, kenapa kok opininya tersebut seperti itu? Kenapa kok menjawab A? Kenapa menjawab B? Seperti itu kan pasti ada alasannya. Dan contohnya apa? And you need to make sure that it's all aligned, it's all coherent, dan kita harus yakin bahwa semuanya itu saling berkesinambungan gitu ya. Kalau kita opininya A, ya berarti explanation-nya juga harus menjelaskan A dan example-nya juga harus menjelaskan A. Misalnya opini kita tentang environment, let's say, oke, explanation-nya environment, tiba-tiba example-nya tentang education. It will lower your score, of course, because it is not coherent at all. Alright. Nah, kita coba ambil contoh di soal yang tadi ya. Kita ambil contoh nomor yang pertama. Why do you think people go to restaurant when they want to celebrate something? Oke, contoh jawabannya bisa seperti ini kalau kita mengikuti struktur yang kita pelajari. Pertama dari opini dulu. Opini di sini adalah kita anggap sebagai main idea lah, atau ide utamanya. Right. I think people go to restaurant to celebrate because it feels special. That's the main. Okay, because it feels special and different from their everyday routine. That's the opinion. Okay, does it have to be like that? Of course, you can give different opinion. That's right. Mungkin bisa opini yang lain ya. Oke, misalnya opini selain feel special and different from everyday routine, atau mungkin apa namanya, teman-teman bisa ngomong kayak it's more convenient rather than providing and preparing all the foods by themselves, right? We go to the restaurant, we order food, and the food comes, then we celebrate. We enjoy everything without thinking too much about how to prepare and how to clean something. Okay, that's the opinion. Then why you mentioned it like that? Okay, the main opinion is about feel special and different from everyday routine. Here, the explanation is that the restaurant offer a pleasant atmosphere where people can relax and enjoy their time without worrying about cooking and cleaning. It's basically the same, just like before. In addition, you can also add more explanation. That's all right. The quality of the food, the way it is presented, and the overall service can make the occasion feel more memorable. As you can see here, okay, before you're talking about feeling special, isn't it? So it is different from everyday routine. Then your explanation is actually memorable and meaningful. This is what we call as the coherence. You need to make sure that your explanation is actually representing what you were talking before. Okay, so if you're talking about it feels special, it feels different from everyday routine. Jelasin apa sih feel specialnya, apa sih bedanya dari everyday routine gitu. Oke, kalau di sini kan feel specialnya adalah dia memorable, meaningful, makanya dia jadi special gitu ya. Different from everyday routine. Ya, misalnya di sini atmosfernya berbeda gitu kan. Karena restoran pasti ada temanya, misalnya it's like an Arabian or maybe Western, something like that. So that's why it can give something different. Oke, jadi make sure your explanation is actually answering, I mean like making it coherence with the things or the opinion that you were given before, that you were giving before. Okay, then going to the one example, yeah. For example, when people celebrate a birthday, nah ini yang paling umum ya, celebrating a birthday, karena kan kita lagi ngomongin celebration. They often choose to go to the restaurant so they can enjoy delicious meal, take pictures, and spend quality time with their friends or family in a more enjoyable setting. Oke, misalnya di sini selain birthday atau mungkin acara yang lain kayak gitu ya. Oke, it's like when you have something, some kind of gathering with your friends. Okay, like an old friend, something. Okay, that is the first time you're meeting after a long time. Okay, you want to make it more special. Okay, so you choose a specific restaurant with specific theme. Okay, jadi kayak gitu ya. Example-nya juga harus mendeskripsikan sebelumnya biar coherence. Alright, okay. That is the samples. Okay. Then, just like the other video that I always mention, is that you need to make sure that you also you should think about the language. Jadi kita juga harus mikirin tentang bahasanya ya, nggak cuma idenya aja. Especially if you want to get a higher score. Let's say that if you want to get 7. Oke, misalnya teman-teman mau dapat band 7 di speaking gitu ya. Berarti harus liatin apa aja yang harus di-fulfill untuk mendapatkan band 7 tersebut. Contoh, di grammatical range and accuracy. Di sini disebutkan use a range of complex structure with some flexibility. Menggunakan struktur kompleks yang beragam dengan fleksibilitas. Artinya kita bisa pakai itu ya di saat manapun gitu, di situasi apapun, dalam artian di konteks apapun gitu. Maksudnya range of complex structure gimana? Misalnya nggak cuma pakai simple sentence aja. Simple sentence itu adalah sentence yang cuma ada satu subjek sama satu verb. Yes, I go to the restaurant atau I went to the restaurant last year. Titik. Nah, itu simple sentence. Try to make it more complex. Misalnya, yes, I went to the restaurant. I was sparked or I was amazed by the decoration. Misalnya, itu namanya complex structure. Salah satu contoh dari complex structure adalah ketika kalimat itu mempunyai lebih dari satu subjek dan juga lebih dari satu verb. Itu salah satu contoh aja. Yang lain contohnya apa lagi? Contoh if conditional bisa pakai gitu ya. Reported speech juga bisa pakai. Clauses like what is clauses? Adjective clause, noun clause, adverbial clause, compound sentence, right? Complex sentence, something like that. Okay, jadi make sure you talk and you think about the language as well. Jadi struktur bahasanya juga harus dipikirkan dan lain juga seperti vocabulary dan juga fluency and the coherence that we discussed before. Alright, and pronunciation of those. Okay, that's about the language. Now, it is for you, it is your time to work and practice, okay, in a real time. So we have the question in the video's description. Okay, you can try to access the link through the description. Jadi coba sekarang teman-teman kerjakan soal-soal, khususnya soal-soal yang ada di speaking part 3, yang ada di deskripsi video ya. You can click to the link and visit and try to answer the question. While answering the question, you can try to pause this video first, then you can go back here and we can talk and discuss what the possible answer that we can use to answer those questions in speaking part 3. Oke, coba sekarang bisa di ya bisa diberhentikan dulu, silahkan. Oke, I'm sure that you've been answering all the questions and thank you so much for that. Now we're gonna talk about what kind of possible answer that we can use for those questions. So there are two different topics. The first topic is about museums and art galleries. Okay, the first question was, what are the most popular museums and art galleries in your country where you live? Kalau menurut struktur yang sudah kita pelajari, which opinion, explanation, and examples means that the first thing first that you need to do, give your opinion, give your main idea. I really recommend you to just straight to the main point in the first sentence. Aku sangat merekomendasikan teman-teman ketika dapat part 3, langsung aja jawab ide utamanya apa. You don't need to put some kind of introduction and that. Aku pikir teman-teman bisa menambahkan informasi tambahan itu setelah ngomongin ide utama gitu. I mean like itu akan lebih baik, jadi bisa langsung menjawab pertanyaan gitu. Kan yang ditanya adalah apa sih museum yang populer dan galeri seni yang populer di negaramu atau di tempat kamu yang kamu tinggal gitu kan. Ya udah langsung jawab aja apa museumnya, apa art galerinya gitu. Just like this question, just like this answer. Okay, I think some of the most popular museum in my country are National Museum and large cultural museums in major cities. Okay. Museums located in major cities. Gitu. Jadi di kalimat pertama itu udah langsung menjawab pertanyaan utamanya. Gitu. Gak usah pakai opening-opening. Ya mungkin bisa pakai opening satu kalimat ya. Atau satu kalimat cukup lah ya. I mean, I really recommend you biar gak muter-muter dan straight to the point. Gitu. Baru setelahnya kita kasih alasannya kenapa kok tempat ini kok jadi populer di negara kita. These places usually attract many visitors because They display historical artifacts and important cultural collection. Oke, ini alasannya ya. Then going to the example. For example, national museums often showcase traditional art, historical object, and exhibition, etc. Jadi example di sini tuh lebih ke apa sih yang dipamerkan di tempat-tempat tersebut gitu ya. Ada traditional art, objek sejarah gitu ya, exhibition, pameran that help people learn about the country's history and heritage. Cukup sampai sini. And that's alright. Dan di sini nggak kayak part 2 yang dikasih 2 menit ya. Jadi ini terserah teman-teman mau jawabnya. Tapi ya jangan lama-lama juga gitu. Try to make it, how do you say, like content. Yeah, contentful, but still you can keep something so meaningful as well. Okay. That's the thing, the first question. Going to the next one. The next question is that, do you believe that all museums and art galleries should be free? Apa yang ditanyain, mending gak digratisin nggak sih museum sama art gallery itu? They are asking you about your opinion, whether that it should be free or not. Berarti kalimat pertama langsung jawab aja, harus free atau enggak. I believe that museum should ideally be free. Okay, this is the main answer, right? Langsung kita jawab. Kita pikir itu harus free or at least affordable for the public because they play an important role in education and cultural awareness. Ini satu kalimat ini udah langsung sama reasonnya ya. When museums are free, more people, especially students and families, have the opportunity to visit and learn from the exhibition. This is another reason. This why, okay, and it's all right. Okay, as long as you're explaining the same thing. Reasonnya tuh boleh dua, asalkan sama-sama menjelaskan satu hal yang sama, gitu ya. However, in some cases, charging a small fee might be necessary to support the maintenance and development of the museum. You might be a bit confused with this part. I mean, like you mentioned about, yes, you agree with this one, but then in the last part you disagree, and it's alright. Okay. Kalau dari sini masih bisa dikategorikan teman-teman itu agree ya, karena teman-teman ngasih penjelasan yang sangat banyak tentang kenapa agree gitu. Bisa dikasih ini, and it's alright. Rather, it can make your answer to be more balanced gitu dan nggak apa-apa. Asalkan in some cases charging a small fee ada alasannya juga di sini kayak gitu. So that's alright. Okay. Okay, what kind of things make museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit? Try to understand the question first. Apa sih yang membuat museum and art gallery itu menarik gitu ya? Tempat yang menarik untuk dikunjungi. In my opinion, again, main idea langsung ya, a museum becomes interesting when it offers interactive and engaging exhibition. This is the main point, like the main points, the opinion, answering the question directly. Visitors usually enjoy displays that allow them to learn in a more visual and hands-on way. Okay. For instance, modern museums often use technology such as digital screens or virtual reality to make historical information more engaging and easier to understand. And this is about the examples. Okay, it's like it's straight from the structure, basically. Okay. So that's for the first topic, talking about museum and art galleries. Now, going to the second topic, holiday industry. Why do you think some people book package holiday rather than traveling independently? As you can see that it's actually asking you to compare things, right? Okay, because they're giving you two different things. First of all, book package holidays, and the second one is like traveling independently. Okay, so here the things. You can try to answer it like only the option that you choose, or I mean like you like cuma ngejelasin salah satunya aja. Misalnya kan ini kan ngasih nanyain gitu kan, kenapa orang lebih milih A daripada B gitu. Teman-teman bisa ngejelasin kenapa lebih milih A aja seperti di contoh ini. I think many people prefer package holidays because they are more convenient and less stressful to plan. Berarti kan ini lebih milih package holiday. When everything such as accommodation, transportation, activities arranged by a travel company, travelers do not need to worry about organizing and details themselves. And they straight about the explanation, the reason, right? This is particularly helpful for people who are busy or not experienced in planning trips. Nah, ini bisa dikategorikan sebagai contoh. Nah, teman-teman juga bisa nambahin untuk masalah traveling independently. Sekarang kalau misal traveling independently itu kenapa? So you can say like, while traveling independently will cost you so many things. For example, like your energy. You need to make sure that you plan everything in advance by yourself, and you need to make sure that you put aside everything to make a plan. Oke, ya, that's the thing. Oke, jadi bisa langsung membandingkan ya. Selain ngomongin tentang package holiday doang, bisa juga nyerempet-nyerempet ke traveling kalau independen itu kayak gimana? Yang membuat package holiday itu lebih menarik gitu. Atau misalnya kayak tuh that traveling independently will give you a different experience, let's say, because you're the one who will plan everything, the things that you want to do by yourself. However, misalnya, itu juga bisa. Jadi kayak cara jawabnya tuh kita ngomongin traveling independent dulu kayak positifnya apa, terus langsung di cancel pakai kata sambung however or on the other hand, in contrast, baru ke sini juga bisa, nggak apa-apa. Atau ininya taruh di bawah juga tidak apa-apa. Okay, that is the fourth question. The next one is about, would you say that large number of tourists cause problems for local people? I think this is straight from the structure. Actually, yes, I think a large number of tourists can sometimes create problems for the local residents. Jawabannya yes, ya. Okay, for example, popular tourist destination may experience overcrowding, increased traffic, and high living cost. However, tourists can also bring economic benefits because it creates jobs and supports local business. Nah, ini tipe-tipe jawaban yang ngasih dua view ya. Walaupun sebenarnya kita lebih condong ke view yang pertama. Okay, and it's alright. Okay, the last one, what sort of impact that can large holiday resort have on an environment? Okay, let's see. Large holiday resort can have significant environmental impact if they are not managed responsibly. Okay, so this one is actually dia nanyain impactnya apa sih gitu ya. Terus kalau di sini dia lebih ke opening dulu ya. Large holiday resort can have significant environmental if they're not managed responsibly. Tapi dia openingnya langsung ke reason. Oke, terus langsung ke example. For instance, they might increase pollution. Oke, jadi ini instance-nya, example-nya digabung sama main answer-nya. Increase pollution, produce large amount of waste, and damage natural habitats. However, many modern resorts are now trying to adopt sustainable practices, such as reducing plastic use and conserving energy in order to protect the environment. Okay, that is the thing. Right. I think that's all about all the discussion from the question that's been provided for you. So hopefully that it can help you to answer the question and give you some kind of inspiration and views about how to answer the art speaking part 3 question. So good luck for everything. All right. Thank you so much for doing this far. So hopefully that everything that we have been discussing can strengthen your speaking skills. Okay, so for the further parts, kalau misal teman-teman ingin lebih percaya diri saat menghadapi IELTS speaking test, teman-teman bisa coba untuk latihan mock test di IELTS in Indonesia English, okay? And di sana teman-teman bisa berlatih interview with the tutor. Of course, it's about speaking. Then you can also get a score about it. Dan teman-teman bisa juga dapat skor dari latihan interview tersebut dan bisa mendapatkan feedback detail dari tutor tentang kemampuan teman-teman di setiap section di IELTS. Okay, so link pendaftarannya ada di deskripsi video, so you can just click it and good luck for your IELTS speaking test.